recording is go. Right, okay, playing in the top right as the green Epsilon headquarters, we have YarSkor. His opponent playing in the bottom right as the, if I can get the right game, there we go, as the as the magenta Russia, we have YarSkor. Alright, there we go. There's a reason why I don't have audio is because it's so damn quiet. There we go. You can hear the music. I can hear the fires of the game. There we go. Right. Apologies for the audio issues. Right. At least for those of us on the recording. Score, Null has asked in the Discord tournament discussion, is currently 2-1. So, Magenta Russia versus Green Epsilon headquarters. What do we got? What's the situation? Because last time, for those of us on the recordings, it looked like YarSkor had actually won the previous game. After some discussions, we've discovered that warring was in fact actually called away, which is why his army stopped functioning, and why there was zero response to anything in the base trade. And YarSkor has consented explicitly that he wanted, or that the game should in fact be 2-1. As I'm sure most viewers of that recording will agree, the game was definitely in Warring's favour. So he has conceded that match to Warring. The score is now, as you can see, or at least for those of us in the recording, the top left, as you can see, it is now 2-1. And we are on Grimdark. So, I'm surprised Russia was available for both factions, but we're not actually going to get a Russia mirror match today. It's Russia versus Epsilon headquarters. Except this time YarSkor is playing headquarters and Warring is playing Russia, so I'd say Warring definitely has the advantage this time. Simply because we've gone over the advantages of Soviets on Grimdark so many times, I think. But for those of us who haven't watched the rest of the games and gone straight for the semis, Russia conscripts simply dominate on a small map like this. They cut their cheapest chips, and you've got there's actually a surprising amount of cash for you playing as Russia. There's also, should you desire it, the tech airfield, which enables easy massing of foxtrots and power dropped instant shelter. And not to mention, Russia also has the shock trooper, which, when it has to move all over the place on a small map like this, its travel time isn't very far, so you can amass quite a fair number of them with the right economy play. So, and simply put, the shock trooper just absolutely dominates on a map like this, and that's why we've seen Russia played almost every time on Grimdark. Epsilon headquarters, on the other hand, obviously completely different faction, not Russia, not Soviets. And I'm not entirely sure what they could have to offer here, except from Ran and Tier 3. I don't really see a lot of use for shadow tanks in this matchup, especially because Shockies are your tier 1.5 protector. And whilst they are effective, they're not exactly decent in a stand-up fight. There's not a lot of opportunities for them to move around and be sneaky. And Synthfall, Dune Riders aren't exactly the greatest in the anti-infantry department. I mean, they're okay, but in a massed infantry fight like this, they also cost what, 650? I think they cost 650. So they're not cost effective remotely, or rather grammatically I should say that it's not remotely cost effective. So yeah, not great. Blowticks requires Synthfall and are even worse in the cost efficacy department, especially without cloning bats. So mass initiates, not really that great, especially against mass conscripts. Even worse against the shock troopers, as we see. And it looks like, and they're also just too expensive. Like, price comes in a lot, especially when you're on a map with just ore as well. We've got 3 refineries out here and 5 miners from YarSkor. We've got size. We've got a much stronger economy from Warring here. Got over here 3 miners, 6 miners over here. So that's what, 9 miners. So it's almost double the miner count from Warring. we're even able to sprinkle in a couple of Rhino tanks in here as well to try and soak up Gatling cannon fire. But with the Shockeys on the field, the Rhinos are a bit superfluous. There's no anti-air, there's no airplay yet from YarSkor, so he doesn't need Tiggers yet. Okay, sold off a Gatling cannon here. The power situation is actually looking very tricky for YarSkor. He's going to need another bioreactor, but he goes for the next refinery instead. Puts it there, sells off his refinery, back to power. Yeah, there's the bioreactor. We start to see the spooks coming out for it as well to try and fix the power problem. So gently. Brand Crazy Ivan tries to sneak through the left of the map, but is picked up by the garrison. Although Waring tries to send him through the north as well. He might be able to make it through here. Could get some juicy kills. I don't know what oh, these Rhinos are going to clear up the garrison. Yep, there we go. There's the Initiate. He's very dead. In fact, he just gets crushed. Meanwhile, forces to split from the army. They've got to go around the long way. Waring does pick up a miner. It looks like the Rhinos don't going for the crush, which is a smart move. If they'd done that, they would have been minced immediately. Gatling cannon crops up, kills the Ivan that was going through the north. Third one on the left hit there, I should say. Pandora hub goes down. Surprisingly docile game from Waring. No major aggression. He definitely has the upper hand here, but he hasn't ended the game immediately like you would have thought would happen on a map like this. That is nearly full bunker full of Initiates. Loses one Rhino. Demo truck comes in. YarSkor has definitely seen that demo truck though. Just sits up on the top. Interesting play would be to dive on the demo truck and then try and force a reposition of Waring's army from YarSkor. Try and force that, but no, he moves the armor away. Bad mistake there. That is a very dead war factory. I think Waring's just left that there. Oh yeah, no, he's seen it. He knows. Moves it over to try and maneuver it, try and do some damage to the bioreactors. Doesn't put him into low power. And a single invader comes out. There's no AA yet from Waring, although all he needs is a couple of flag troopers. There's no major risk. But Volkov comes out and he's getting Shitskoy now as well, so he may actually lose a couple of infantry. And the invader just goes to scout, I think. You see Tigger APCs coming out instead. I think there may be a missed opportunity for a Volkov snipe here. Yeah, the Tigger's on the scene. Yeah, the invader moves off, knows that it's no longer welcome. And Volkov's still perfectly intact. I think there's a perfectly good window for Volkov to be sniped there, but YarSkor doesn't take it. As we see, he's finally hit tier 3. Ran coming out onto the field as well could be a game changer, honestly, as we see Genomite. There's a lot of detection here, both from the hero and from the Shockeys. But they do at least deter Waring from moving in and simply murdering YarSkor, which is mainly. And they're not being deployed in Waring's face either, which is a relief to see. As Ran starts to get to work, YarSkor's going to have to be very careful with his Ran micro. One misstep could be the end of him, both for the individual hero character and for the game. But oh no! Oh, he gets away. Volkov goes down to Ran. That's an excellent kill there from YarSkor, even if there was a very slight miss micro. But he gets Volkov all the same. Where's the Shitskoy though? Is Shitskoy already dead? Shitskoy might already be dead. I don't see him on the field. Yeah, no, I don't see any Shitskoy. Definitely not in a vehicle. Or in a ghost miner. No, Ran definitely out to prove his value, picking up as many kills as YarSkor reckons he can get away with. There's the Chimera Core. There's all the mind control starting to pile up. Something not looking so pretty for Waring, but he does hold a huge economic advantage. Volkov gets slapped by Ran again for half HP. Another shot like that will be the end of Volkov. But Curtain is almost ready. In fact, it's been ready for about 5. It's been there for about 5 minutes already. So it slowly counts down. I think the right play to make here from Waring on top of Foxtrots is probably he needs a couple of scuds just to deal with the base, with the Chimera Core especially. He does force YarSkor away from said Chimera. Keeps Volkov well away from Ran. He's going to want to be mindful of his vehicles. There's not enough anti-air there to force away the Kala. So actually this could be prime territory for YarSkor to win this engagement. In fact, he does force the retreat from Warring. Ran going absolutely mental, picking off unit by unit. The brutes open up, they get a couple of punches in on Volkov. Ran slaps Volkov yet again. Curtain is ready, elite reserves are out as well. But now, how are we going to play the Curtain? There's no nuclear converter from Warring, which would allow him access to irradiation, which, simply put, he could simply just drive through Warring's army. And whilst underwriting Curtain, Warring couldn't do anything. YarSkor, sorry, couldn't do absolutely anything. So, irradiation isn't an option. I think we may see Iron Curtain Tigers. I think that's the most likely option here. Foxtrots dive in on Ran, they get their revenge, but he loses 2 of them at the very least. Didn't see a third one go down. Forget for a Ran kill? I'm sure that might be cost effective, but we're trying to waltz into mind control territory now. Sends the Desolators forward, but they just get absolutely rinsed by the Kala. Minimal anti-air support. Only Tigger, oh wait no, one of the main Tiggers in the area goes down, but more advanced. Still no Curtain usage out here from Warring though. This could prove to be the end of him. The armor feels confident now, it moves in. The infantry not so much, they still hold their ground. There's the Curtain on a bunch of Rhino tanks. But Rhinos no longer have the Iron Curtain bonus. He moves in, tries to get some good crushes in. There's a lot of mind control happening as well. Curtain isn't quite worn off just yet. Curtain wears off now. Still, honestly, could swing either way, but it's looking like it's in Warring's favour. As it's split into 2. Oh, there's a Desolator deploy. That could be juicy, as it looks like... Yeah, this is definitely in Warring's favour now. As he absolutely cleans through the base of YarSkor. Dies on the tier 3, gets the bloody power grid, the war factory, the barracks. He's gonna get the MCV next. Yeah, this is Warring's game. There's absolutely nothing YarSkor can do now. YarSkor calls GG.
Player defeated.
And that's that. It is now 2-2. I never updated the flags. Shit.